Hey, kind of an interesting one, huh? All right, let's see if we get some 5x5s. My computer pop up. You guys hear me, see me. Here comes my computer. I can see me. That's good. Now, if you guys can, Texas Babs with the first one at 5x5. There we go. All right, I see Robert got me and Laura got me. So checks to mix. Okay, so a bunch of you guys are seeing me. All right, good. So I'm still not that technologically challenged. Good. All right. Well, welcome to a fun night. And we'll get into that in just a little bit here. I want to give everybody a chance to show up and kick in, click on get here and everything like that. So we'll do all that. So for those of you guys that are new to the live stream or even new to the channel, welcome to the live stream. We do this every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Eastern and every Saturday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. And what these are a chance for you guys to take center stage. And all we do is an hour of Q&A where y'all get to ask me questions, ask each other questions, and get answers to things you want. I mean, and trust me, we've covered, you name it, in the way of subjects. I mean, from politics to economics to gardening to dehydrating to 1970s movies to 1980s rock and roll to you name it. Whatever you guys want to talk about, that is the topic of conversation, and it goes all over the place. And you guys always trying to stump me. It's like we'll go from politics to economics to gardening, and I mean, I've got to be quick on my feet with some of these things. I've got some of the answers, not all of them, but that's the advantage to being here. Is this is a chance for the whole family to get together and ask questions, share information, whatever. I mean, I've noticed just in the chat tonight, somebody was talking about having comfrey cuttings, and if anybody wanted some. Somebody was talking about puppies. That's what this whole family is about, is sharing with each other information, ideas, tricks, answering questions, whatever. I learn a ton of stuff, ton of ideas from you guys, and hopefully you guys learn a few from me as we go. But that's the whole point. So, I'd invite everybody who's here tonight just for the giveaway to stick around after we do that and kind of participate in the chat, in the family, get to know some of the people in here. There's tons of great people in here. And, usually on the live streams lately, we've had 15, 16, 1,700 people in here. Y'all start meeting each other. I already had it tonight where y'all want to connect with each other. And I've told everybody, please don't put your emails on the chat. Remember, this is the internet. But if two of you want to connect with each other, if both of you send me an email and say, hi, I'm Mary and hi, John, please share my email with respectively Mary and John, I've got no problem facilitating that. That's the whole point. A lot of times in here, you'll meet people that are in your local area. I mean, y'all know I live in a tiny little town here. I mean, the county's got 19,000 people. There are 5 subscribers to this channel who live within a couple of miles of me, okay? 4 of them I would have never known if it wasn't for doing this. But, now we get the ability to talk in person, share ideas, share things, help each other, whatever, building, that IRL community besides the online community that we already have. So, I invite everybody to stick around, stop by on Tuesdays, Saturdays, and just hang out with all of us. And you'll get all the normal fun stuff that you get out of me anyway. So go from there. So today, pardon me if I look a little sweaty before I got here with you guys. Obviously had to get all set up and try to set up a second computer. So it's nice pulling an old one out and see if I could get it hooked up to the internet. So maybe I won't have to do some craziness for the computer, but nope, looks like I can do that. Okay, so I can show it without trying to hold the camera. I think I've got it set up so you guys can see the random comment generator. But it's been, planting blueberries today and comfrey and nettle and watering all my seedlings. And yes, good news, I finally have enough banana peppers and pepperoncini and the last type of tomatoes. I finally got this lot to go, so I should have enough seedlings now to do all my planting as they now spend all their time sitting under their grow lights and growing. Cucumbers look great, pickles look great, peppers that are already ready are good. So, my one bedroom is now a greenhouse, I guess, if you will, but that happens every spring. But, it's really important to do stuff like this. I was at Walmart yesterday, day before yesterday, one of the two. And I don't know, days run together anymore for me, especially when you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. But so I was in the garden center, and I about fell over when I saw what they were asking for seedlings, little plants that are 2 or 3 inches high. Tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, $5 a piece. There's $4.88 or something like that. I mean, are you freaking nuts? Okay. By the time I get that tomato plant growing, I might get $5 worth of tomatoes out of that tomato plant. Think about a cabbage. It's like, okay, it cost me $5 for a cabbage plant. Maybe I get a cabbage and it ain't worth $5. It's like, okay, let alone the fertilizer and the water and the work and everything like that. So, again, I know seeds are getting more expensive and you're paying $3 for a pack of seeds, but at least in a pack of seeds, I get 20, 30, 50, 1,000, depending on what type of seed it is, seeds, and I can grow a whole lot more plants. So, again, one of those things, if you have the ability, find somebody local, sharing plants. Hey, maybe somebody's got extra tomato seedlings or, because we all plant extras just in case some don't work, double plant. And every time I get extra seeds or extra seedlings, I'm giving them away to somebody, and it's like, here, they're already started, go for it. I even said to you guys in a video maybe a couple of weeks ago, you want to start a little cottage industry? Put a table out in your front yard and sell seedlings. Sell them for $2. Put them in a Dixie cup or put them in a solo cup. Sell them for $2. Walmart wants 5. You sell them for 2, and it costs you 12 cents. So okay, fine. You got to buy a little bit of the soil and you got to buy solo cups, but you're selling for $2. I think you're coming out ahead. So, things like that. It's planting season, gardening season. It was cold today. It was only in the 50s. Yesterday was in the 40s. Tomorrow was supposed to be mid 70s, so that's nice. I know I'm lucky because some of you guys are looking at snow coming in, and if you're down south of me, Mississippi, Alabama, whatever it is, I guess you've got potentials for tornadoes tomorrow. So we're supposed to get the weather on Thursday, but as I see right now, it's just supposed to be rain. We're not supposed to get bad winds. But where I am, I'm in a bowl on the side of mountains and everything like that, so it's kind of hard. I'm down near the base of a mountain, and so I don't worry that much about the tornadoes, but we still get those winds that go sweeping through this bowl like crazy. So that was all the fun stuff. But yeah, so what I'm saying is I invite everybody to come by, share a little fellowship with everybody, and have a little bit of fun. Now, for those of you that are new, I will tell you we do have a couple of rules, all right, like everything else. I've got some of the best moderators on YouTube on this channel between North Shore, Jacob, Robert, Lucky Dame, and Lorna. And they are all really good about keeping the riffraff out of here. So what we require of everybody is to be polite, be nice, no arguing. Difference of opinion is fine. I have no problem with somebody having a difference of opinion. Disagree with me, disagree with each other, that's great. As long as you're polite, that's fine. But when somebody makes a comment on a video or in here says, you're an asshole, you don't get a chance to make a second comment, okay? You're gone. That's it. I have no patience for that. We got too much crap going on in the real world to have pissing matches go on between people in here. And I mean, there's well over 1,000 people that have been blocked from this channel just for the simple reason is they don't want to play nice, all right? I say treat this like your family, but then again, if I treat it like my family, I wouldn't be talking to any of you. So that's, just be polite. And then, follow the YouTube guidelines. We don't make any comments about the 2020 election. We don't make any comments about climate change, and we don't make any comments about the ingredients in the vaccine. Y'all know where I stand. I know where most of you guys stand. Okay. We don't need to dredge it up. All it does is get you in trouble with YouTube, gets me put in YouTube jail. And so we just avoid those comments. All right. Yeah. Robert saying one's already been blocked tonight. Okay. Yeah. And that doesn't surprise me. We get, the trolls come out all the time. So, they all try to see what kind of troubles they can cause. And as I said, my moderators have, a no bullshit guideline. So this is it, what they say goes, and, works pretty well. Sometimes they'll make a mistake. I mean, and I understand that. Okay. They'll click on something and the screen will switch and, it'll block the wrong person, and somebody sends me an email, I got blocked tonight. Okay. If I know who you are, I'll go back and look and check, and I can unblock people. But most of the time, 99% of the time, the people that they block deserve to be blocked. And that's it. And, that's it. We have good people in here, and we try to keep it that way. So, okay. So let's see. I show 2,289 people in here tonight, right now. Okay. And we're going to get into this drawing because I know that's why some of you are here. I want to remind everybody, in order to qualify for this drawing, you must have made a comment on Monday morning's video when I did the review. You must have put your state in which you live in your comment, and you must live in the contiguous 48 states. Okay. If I pull up a comment and somebody doesn't have the state they live in, or they live in Sweden or whatever, I'm sorry, that's not a valid entry. I will pick somebody else. Then, after I pick the winner, that person who, after the random comment generator picks the winner, that person needs to be here. Okay. I will give everybody 5 minutes. I've got the timer set on the slow mode here, so you only have a minute between making comments, because I figured this was going to get kind of crazy tonight. You will have 5 minutes to say, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. Okay. And as long as I know somebody is here, they will be the winner. What they will need to do is email me their full name. I don't need your middle name. I just, first and last, and your mailing address. Okay. Has to be a physical mailing address. Can't be a post office, because Wellbots ships this stuff FedEx, and FedEx won't deliver to a PO box. Okay. I don't keep your address on file. It gets deleted from my computer. But because of the weight of this thing, Elliot is going to send it directly from Wellbots to the winner. Okay. Then, if you guys all saw, this thing weighs 100 pounds. These panels themselves, I think, probably weigh somewhere around 20 pounds. It will come in 2 boxes. Okay. So if you live in an apartment and you got to go upstairs or something like that, make sure you get some help. This thing is going to be way too big for somebody to carry themselves. Unless you're some bodybuilder or something like that, forget it. Okay, because all I know is I dragged the thing in the house. It's a big box, but the generator is certainly a sweet, sweet, sweet tool. If it's something you're looking at running, refrigerators, freezers, maybe a few lights and stuff like that, that could be everything. If you want to get more, like I said, I want to get my well pump, my water heater on it, maybe if I can even do it, my HVAC system, then you're going to need to expand on it. But this is an expandable system, so certainly good for that. Few people have asked me, why this one and not, after I just did the 1300. Trust me, I still have my 1300s, and my 1300s are something I would not want to do without, because with this one, I can run my, like I said, my intention is to run my well pump, my water heater, my big stuff that I need in the house. I can take the 1300s out. I can plug it into my refrigerator. I can plug it into another one into my freezers. And I've got separate power all over the place, so I know you go, oh my God, this gets to be a lot of money. And like I said in the video, this is a high-end prep, guys. This is, by the time you're all said and done, this is nearly a $4,000 prize. So I hope whoever wins this one really, really appreciates it, because Elliot went above and beyond with this one. And the folks at Wellbots have done more than I could ever expect. I mean, I told you guys in the video today, after we did the first one, he's like, oh, we thank you so much. It was a great success. We'd like to make a donation to a charity of your choice. And y'all know me, so I asked him to donate to the Gary Sinise Foundation. And so Wellbots donated $500 to the Gary Sinise Foundation in all of our names, which I thought was really cool. So, again, I don't do affiliates. I don't do sponsorships. When I find a product I like, I will definitely share it with you. When I get a situation like this, when they're even willing to give us one to raffle off to one of you guys, and I believe in the product. I mean, you can imagine how many emails I get. I've told you before, we want you to promote our video games. We want you to promote our women's shoes. I mean, the best one I ever had was when I had somebody wanted me to promote their lingerie. I'm like, oh, we watch your channel and we want, we think this would be a perfect. I'm like, really? You see me here in, Lace Teddy or something like that. Right. That, you've watched my channel. Don't give me that. So that was it. Okay. Have I talked enough? Do you guys want to do this now? Let's see if I get some answers. All right. Do you guys want to do this? If you don't, I can keep talking. Yeah, we are on slow mode there, CB Mod, 60 seconds. Okay. I see Diane says yes. There's a few yeses. Okay. All right, let me get the other computer going here, get it awake again. Bear with me, this is an old one, so it's slow. All right, so let me flip the computer, or flip the screen over. All right, let me make sure I can see it on my screen. There we go. All right. So what I've done, just like every other time, guys, this is the YouTube random comment picker. All right. And what I have done, if you look there on top, right here where I have my mouse, that is the URL from Monday morning's video. That is the one that you had to enter on. So we were going to go through. We're going to take out duplicate users. So everybody gets one entry. That's it. Okay. We're not, like I said in there, you had to make an original comment, no replies. And don't have to worry about excluding or blacklisting people because they can't comment. So let's see how many people we have. As we tick along there, we had, I think it was around 3,400 or 3,400 comments. So let's see how many of them were duplicates or whatever would be. We have 3,400 comments. We got 2,600 people in here right now. So let's see how many people commented and then didn't show up. Let's see, 31, 32, 33, 3,307 unique comments. All right, we've got 2,627 people in here. So that means we have what, 650 some odd people who commented and didn't show up. Sorry. Must be present to win. Okay. So let's scroll. Not scroll up. I need to scroll down. So all I got to do is click this little button right here. And here we go. Thunderbird Green Tea. Thanks for the information. I've been interested in something like this for a while. Frank from Indiana. Thunderbird Green Tea. It is $8.19. You have until 8/24 according to my clock, to say I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. So, mods, help me keep an eye on this to see if Thunderbird Green Tea does show up. And as fast as this thing is going, Thunderbird Green Tea, I would hate to see you miss this one. All right, I'm going to look through the participants list and see if they are even here. Bear with me. Come on. Well, guys, in the list of participants, I don't see Thunderbird Green Tea being here. So we will still wait just in case. Like I said, got 3 more minutes for Thunderbird Green Tea to say they're here. Just in case it's somebody who didn't log in, watching on their spouses or kids or something like, oh my God, I got to run in. I mean, I will wait to see, but at 8:24, we pick another winner. We'll see what happens. I mean, and I can't imagine clicking on this in the morning and watching the replay and going, oh, crap. KS Brown, nice try. Thunderbird Green Tea, are you here? 3 minutes. Waiting. All right, I'm going to go back to the participant list and check again. Let's see, somebody just... Nope. Okay. What happened there, computer? Okay. All right, y'all can still... Somebody give me a 5x5 real quick. Tell me y'all can still hear me. Okay, thanks, Tammy. Okay, good. Just wanted to double check. There's a lot, a lot of you guys. All right, my computer froze all of a sudden. I was like, okay, I don't want to make sure let's look in here. No, I do not see them on the participant list. 1 minute. God. Oh, I feel so bad for somebody when this happens. It's happened in some of the giveaways that we do on subscriber milestones too, but never have we had a prize like this, you know. And we're waiting. Thunderbird Green Tea. All right, it's 8:24. Mods, one or two of you just tell me that you didn't see it either, because I never did. Mods, are we clear to go again? Okay. Guys, flip the screen over again. And let's make sure I can see it on my computer. All right, there it is. All right, let's scroll this up and pick another winner. Here we go. It is Panhandle Prepper. Good morning, Pinball. This is a really nice unit. I've been looking at them since I purchased the 1300. Be nice to win one of these here in West Virginia. Panhandle Prepper, are you in the house? I'm going to go look at Panhandle Prepper. He is? Mrs. P said Panhandle Prepper is here. And it looks like I'm going to flip this over. Oops, my computer froze up. So let's see. All right, Mrs. P said Panhandle Prepper is here. Panhandle Prepper is here. Congratulations, my friend. You just won an EcoFlow Delta Pro and a 160 watt portable solar panel. Retail value $3,750. Okay, Panhandle Prepper, so you need to email me to pinballpreparedness@protonmail.com. The email address is below in the description. It is also on my About page, so you can find it. If one of my mods will put up my email address just so they can see it too, I would appreciate it. Email me your full name and a physical mailing address, not a post office box, like I said at the top. Wellbots sends this stuff FedEx, and FedEx won't deliver to a P.O. box, so it's got to be a P.O. box. But congratulations, and I hope you're doing cartwheels and the happy dance and getting ready to call every friend and go, oh my God, I won. So congratulations. All right. Well, that took us half an hour. And I feel bad for the other guy, but it is what it is. All right. So, wow, this is interesting. And my screen keeps freezing on my computer. Which is going to make it fun for me trying to answer questions. So let's see if I can do this all over again. I'm going to re-log in and see if we can do it. All right. So, okay, I am there. All right. So let's get into normal chat. And I'm not even going to bother trying to go up on the screen. So, because I know everything was for the last 20 minutes has all been about the giveaway. So Laura K says, how heavy is the 1300 unit? That's about 30 pounds. Okay. Got two good handles on it. Very easy, comfortable to lift. So, and like I said, that one, the 1300 is able to run my side-by-side fridge for 11 hours, no problem. It'll probably run a chest freezer or something like that, at least for a day, because it only cycles on, every once in a while. So, yeah, if you're looking at keeping food cold, food frozen, run a light. I mean, I've got 4 of the 1300s. I put one on the freezers, one on the refrigerator, usually one on the modem, so I can do internet, and then one on lights, and we can easily function around the house. And this is normal power outage. So, but the reason I have multiples of those is because in a grid down situation, I want to be able to run 2 while I'm charging 2, and that way I can rotate them. So, all right. Douglas Westfall, when will we get to meet Mrs. P? Sorry if it already happened. There's a whole playlist on the channel. If you go onto the homepage and look for the playlist, it's called Cooking with Mrs. P, and that's her making a bunch of different recipes of traditional Russian cooking. So you get to meet and see her there. Obviously, all those of you that showed up for the Knoxville meetup last year got a chance to meet her. And she occasionally pops in and says hi on the videos and everything like that. But she's a little camera shy, so we don't push her too hard to come by. She comes by when she wants to. But yeah, if you want to go meet Mrs. P, check out some of her cooking videos and everything like that. You get a chance to see that and get a good meal out of the deal. I especially recommend the stroganoff. Okay. Whoops. All right. So now some questions are coming in. So let me see. All right. See what we can find here. Nancy DB, what kind of pelts do I have on the wall? I'm assuming when I flipped it over, you could see over there are a couple of deer pelts on the wall there. There's a badger. There's a muskrat. You guys have seen the moose head before. There's a deer head up there. So, yeah, I mean, the house, we decorated the house very much like a cabin. This is always what we, it's a faux log cabin. It's got log siding on it. You guys have seen the outside of the house too, but it's a cabin in the woods. And so we decorated it appropriately like that. So it's basically the same decorations we had in our house in Vegas, just that wasn't a cabin. It was like this was what we wanted when we moved. Carol Lewis, if I hadn't had a reminder set, I wouldn't have known you were on. Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern, every Saturday at 9 o'clock. I think I've only missed one in 2 years, and that was the one that I canceled because it was the day we paid off our house, and we went out to celebrate. Peggy Sue, what's the latest news? Panhandle Prepper won a generator. That's it. Actually, I haven't paid attention to much of the news this afternoon. I was very busy. What's going on? Mrs. P didn't tell me anything was going significantly. So, apparently nothing earth-shattering. I mean, obviously there's news, but I mean, unless it's affecting us as a prepper, I really could care less about Will Smith cracking Chris Rock in the mouth. I mean, that doesn't make a lick of difference in my life. So, but yeah, and I haven't even looked to see what tomorrow's video is on yet, so I don't even know. So once this is all done, I got work to do. It never ends around here, I tell you that. Linda Friesen, are the discounts still available on the Beast? Yes. If you go after the Pro, the one we just gave away, the discount on that is PREP, P-R-E-P 100. It's $100 off. Plus, they're the cheapest online that I could find. Okay. If you go after the Delta 1300, that one is Pinball 50, and they'll honor both of those. So no problem there. Xander Campbell, what does 5x5 mean? Basically loud and clear. So that's just everybody telling me that they can hear me, they can see me, that the connection's good, I'm not frozen, whatever. So that's why I always ask for the 5x5s, just loud and clear. S. Withers, was Mrs. P a prepper before she met you? Well, Mrs. P grew up in the Soviet Union and then lived in Russia ever since the Soviet Union fell. So survivor / prepper, yeah, you kind of have to have that lifestyle. I mean, she had it in her head. I've told you guys the story before. The one thing she made me promise before she'd marry me is that we'd never be without food. I mean, and again, do you think of the Soviet Union, or when the Soviet Union fell and what was going on in the economy and stuff like that, and standing in line for food, things like that, so yeah, she's seen harder life than most of us have. Let's put it that way. CB, can you tell me the difference between silver and black Mylar bags? No, I've never even heard of a black Mylar bag. So maybe somebody else has. I don't have that answer. Sorry. Romy Davis, is it too late to plant potatoes? Depends on where you are. I just put mine in last week, so maybe about 5 days ago or so, and I'm in zone 6B. So if you're my zone, still fine. Probably zone 7, still fine. If you're 4, 5, 6, whatever it is, it might even be too early. So best thing I'd say there is go on, there's countless websites. I mean, I use Farmer's Almanac as the, almanac.com, and, it'll ask you for your zip code, and then it'll tell you the planting dates for anything. I'd suggest going on there, put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and look down the list and see where potatoes are. But no, it should not be too late to plant potatoes. I mean, unless you're, southern Texas or something like that. Yeah, maybe the desert, maybe. But for most of the country, no. Purring Lady, will Mrs. P do another cooking video? Yeah, eventually we will. I mean, I know I want her to make a okroshka, which is a summer soup, which is really good. We don't make pelmeni that often because it takes a lot of work, but one of these days we'll make a pelmeni video. That's absolutely delicious and very easy to do. It's just very time consuming. It'll take us a couple hours to make dinner, because you're rolling dough and making, they're little dumplings, if you will, but they're extremely good. DFreak01, we're moving to the country on the 10th. Congratulations. Cherokee Man 71, thanks for doing the drawing. Absolutely. Guys, you know me. Anytime I can find something and I can help one of you guys, I mean, that's it. I mean, I wish I had 68,000 of these things that I could give away one to everybody. Obviously that ain't happening anytime soon. But, if we can do something that'll help somebody, that's kind of always what's made the two of us tick. Spinomaster, nice giveaway. You're okay no matter what Canadian Prepper says about you. There you go. Hey, some people like me, some people don't. That's fine. Any tips on growing asparagus? This is actually funny. So I planted asparagus from seed last year. Okay. And typically you are not supposed to get asparagus fronds for 3 years. Okay. And they grew, and if you ever seen asparagus, they're almost like little ferns or whatever. And last year in the fall, I went out there, there was actually last fall, first year from seed, there was actually a little asparagus. It's like, holy crap, Didn't think much of it. It's like, okay, one tiny asparagus was 3 inches high. I went out to the garden the other day when I was watering. There was an asparagus out there, one. This thing was a foot long. First year, this thing's been in the ground for 1 year from seed. And I had an asparagus stalk, frond, whatever you want to call it, spear. There we go. That's what they're called. So I cracked it off and sitting out in my garden eating an asparagus spear. Tips on growing it: plant it, water it. As long as you're in decent soil, you're good. But I've watched stuff on M.I. Gardner, and he's got an asparagus plant that was like 30 years old. I remember watching one of his videos or whatever it is. It was planted in some of the crappiest soil out there. The biggest tip on growing asparagus: plant it. That's it, because it's something that'll grow wild. So, I don't think there's a whole lot of care that's needed for asparagus. It's just a lot. You got to be very patient. Anthony Rodriguez, when is the video on preparing the straw bales for growing coming? I only grow my sweet, you can grow anything, nearly anything, in straw bales. I only do my sweet potatoes in it, so that's not going to happen till June or something like that. But, to give you an idea, there are videos on YouTube on, put in your search on conditioning straw bales, and you'll find what to do. There's a million and one different ways to do it, but basically the key is, guys, you get some nitrogen, okay, whatever you want. Use Miracle Grow, use lawn fertilizer, use coffee grounds, use urine, whatever you want to do. Something that's going to be high in nitrogen. Pour it in there, soak down the straw bale. Next day, just soak down the straw bale. Third day, pour some nitrogen in there, soak down the straw bale. And you're going to do this for 10 days, 2 weeks, thereabouts. And then once you got that done, you're going to pull it apart a little bit, put some potting soil or potting soil in the little space that you made, plant in there. And what's happening is you're basically, that straw bale will compost in place, and your sweet potatoes or whatever will grow right in them, okay? Or your tomatoes or whatever you want to do, okay? David Green, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Let's see. Laura K, are the solar panels for them interchangeable or specific model? No, they're all interchangeable. I mean, you can use any solar panel with any generator, provided you don't exceed wattage or whatever. It's just a matter of having the correct connectors to it. And the EcoFlow uses MC4 connectors, because like the panels that I have are 12C-VAN. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, TWELSEAVAN. And they're 120 watt panels. They're the ones that I use with my 1300s. Not even the same brand, but they work fine. You just, connectors go in and poof, there you go. So, but yeah, any solar panel, hard panel, portable panels, whatever will work as long as you've got the right connector. Schulte Family Homestead, thank you for the super chat. How do you deal with major setbacks? Just had to take a major chunk of down payment fund to pay for time off due to surgery. Our lease is up in a couple of months and make more time to recoup the money than the time on a lease. Into every life a little rain must fall. We all run into it. I mean, Mrs. P and I have run into things that, last year we had to have the entire crawl space re-insulated, and we found that there was water damage under the house. That was something we did not plan on dropping money on. And you juggle, you do whatever. I mean, that sucks. I mean, now this is one that I'm looking at. Major chunk of a down payment fund, I'm assuming you're trying to buy a house, to pay for time off due to surgery. Now, I'm assuming that doesn't mean to pay for the surgery, but to cover your bills while you're not working. Can you cut back on any of the bills? Okay. Can you reduce your car insurance to liability? I don't know if you got car financed or whatever. Can you cut the cord and have no cable TV? Can you pick up some sort of, not that this is going to make you a ton of money, but you can probably make $500 a month off of it. Look at opinionoutpost.com and sit there. If you can't do anything else, do surveys. $500 is $500. Like I mentioned earlier, could you do something selling seedlings? I don't know if you live in the suburbs, the city, whatever, where, but get creative. Maybe it's, somebody just KJ just said it's a life-changing event. Maybe you can tell your landlord to possibly ask for an extension. Maybe they'll let you extend the lease for a couple of months. Say, hey, you know what, we're buying a house, but this happened, blah, blah, blah. See what you can. I don't know if you've got a retirement plan at work, if you've got a 401k, not that I'd ever advise this as your first option, but, maybe you can take a loan from your 401k plan. Where there's a will, there's a way, and again, that's something we prep for is, all prepping isn't for the zombie apocalypse. Prepping is for the day-to-day SHTF events that happen in our lives. Eat, if you've got your food put away, there's your groceries. Start eating out of your preps instead of going to the grocery store. Save the money there. you've already bought it. Use that. Maybe a totally different diet for you for a month or so, but you do what you can do. All right, let's see. Where else are we? Amanda Lewis, does Wellbots offer any coupons or financing? Coupons are like, there's a coupon code. I mean, you go in there, it's like $5 off or something like that. You usually get, obviously use the ones that they gave us. They're a lot better than the standard stuff to the public. Financing, yes, they do financing on there. I think it's through, I want to say it's through a firm. I'm not sure, but yes, they do financing on this stuff. Susie, did I receive the sutures that you sent me? Yes, I did. Thank you very much. There wasn't anything in there. It was just a box. I didn't remember who sent it. So yes, I did get those. Thank you very much. DeFi Dad says, what's a good lightweight stab-proof vest that you recommend? Excuse me. I can't, the only vest I have is level 3 armor. Obviously, you're not getting a knife through that. I'm not going to be the person with the answer on that one. Maybe somebody to look at that would be Black Scout Survival. That channel might have, he's probably got an answer for that question. Fortune Cookie, could a 1300 run a sump pump? No. You're going to need something like the Pro to run something like that. Again, sump pump, well pump, pretty much the same thing. You just don't have the amperage to run it off of 1300. Missy Stevens, how far away from the garden should a compost bin be placed? I don't know. I've got my compost bin 4 feet from one of my gardens. It's no problem having it close. I mean, you're not doing any damage. I mean, hell, the stuff you're making in the compost bin, you want to put out in the garden. Why do you, if you can keep it close, then it's less that you've got to carry garden scraps to the compost pile, and eventually less space you've got to carry the compost to the garden. So yeah, I mean, the only thing you worry about is if you're not composting correctly and you start attracting wildlife. Now you're attracting wildlife to your garden too. So, make sure you're doing your compost correctly and, not leaving food scraps. Anytime you put food scraps in, bury them into the compost pile. Don't leave them on top. Otherwise you're gonna have a pile of raccoons there. Bury them in there. Make sure you soak your compost pile down, everything like that. So it composts, not becomes dinner for the critters. Grace Acres, what is my recommendation for a vacuum sealing unit? Whichever one you can afford. They're not rocket science. They all pretty much work the same. I've got a cheap one that we bought on Amazon. I couldn't even tell you what the brand is of it. And it works fine. Robin Ham, how do I heat up my compost? The heating up will be done by the bacteria, the microbes, and everything that are in there. The heat that's generated is actually the gases that those microbes release from decomposing. If your pile's not getting hot, chances are that means that you have too much browns in there and not enough greens. Okay, too much carbon, not enough nitrogen. Which at this time of year is relatively common because you've still got all those leaves and cardboard and stuff, but you don't have a whole lot of green material, because we haven't started mowing lawns or whatever. But, so make sure you've got more greens in there and make sure the compost pile is moist. It should be like a wet sponge, okay? Not dripping or anything like that. But, once it dries, it's not going to heat up. It needs, you need moisture in there and you need oxygen in there, hence the reason you turn it. That's why everybody talks about layering, because you want to get the ability for those microbes, all that biological creatures in there. You want to be able for them to find what's in your compost. I mean, if you've got 2 feet high of leaves and then you put your greens, the microbes, the worms and stuff like that aren't going to work their way all the way up through 2 feet of leaves. A couple inches, it's like, oh, there's something, and they'll start mixing it all together. So the compost will heat up itself. You know, like I said, my guess is you don't have enough nitrogen in there. You can speed it up real quick. But you all know me on this one. Pee in a jar and go pour a gallon of urine over your compost pile. You know, take your kitchen scraps, put it in there. You can, but go get a bag of grass fertilizer. It's high nitrogen. Usually they're 30-00 or 30-02 or something like that. First number is nitrogen. That's the one you're looking for. Sprinkle that all over your compost pile. My guess is that's why you're not heating up. Ronnie B, HVAC systems really need a standby generator of 10K or bigger to operate. Yeah, and I don't know everything about it. I'm going to have an electrician come out and tell me what I can do. If I could do my HVAC, that would be great. My hope is that I can at least do my water pump, my hot water heater, and get that. I've got a backup heater. If we deal without air conditioning, I can always go buy a window unit air conditioner or something like that, and I could run it off of this thing. So, worst case scenario, I do it. It'd be nice if I could run the HVAC system, but then you're now trying to run an HVAC system off of solar, and that's, difficult. So, I'm still trying to put all this together, but my priority is water. So, Carol Lewis, I thought you started live at 9 in Michigan. 9 o'clock on Saturdays, 8 o'clock on Tuesdays. I'm on the same time zone as you guys are. I'm on Eastern time. So, 9 on Saturdays, 8 on Tuesdays. Kevin Weininger, has anyone mentioned having a knife sharpener for SHTF? That's an excellent idea. Everybody will tell you have knives, have knives, have knives. Have a knife sharpener, and I'm talking not the one on the back of your can opener or something like that. Even a butcher's one, that you're going up and down. But a little one that you can keep on a key ring is awesome for your pocket knife, a Bowie knife, a machete, whatever it is, because you can do it there. It's something that's very simple to carry. But yeah, that is a great suggestion for everybody to think about, having a knife sharpener. Peggy Sue, is there a discount code? I'm assuming you're talking about the generators again. If you go back and watch the video from yesterday morning on the video, there's a link in that description that takes you to the generator plus a free solar panel. If you just go to the website, you're going to pay $34.99 for the generator. If you go to the link that I gave you, it's a generator plus the solar panels. That's $350 right there. Plus, the discount code is on there, and this one is PREP100, but all the information is below yesterday morning's video. If you go back to, if you're looking at the 1300, the smaller one, the discount code on that one is Pinball50. That's $50 off of that one. Vet, why didn't you see Green Tea? She was here under Kathy Humphreys. Again, that's not following the rules. You had to be here under the name that you registered with. The name that pulled up was Green Tea, whatever it was, not Kathy Humphreys. I'm sorry. Anybody can tell me, oh, that's me. It had to show up as the name. I'm sorry, but that I could go on and somebody could say, Vet 1, and I can go, hey, I'm Vet, but you show up as Pinball Preparedness. Yeah, but my other name is Vet. No, that's not how it works. Okay, so I'm sorry. Dennis Ross, Pinball, do you have a suggestion on a decent hand crank grain mill? No, because I actually don't have one. Mr. and Mrs. Mountaintop Preps does. I do not have one because I don't have any. Well, no, I take it back. I do. I have the corn. I don't have wheat berries. I've got flour. But no, and finding a good one I know is difficult. You look on YouTube and it's like they're all stamped aluminum or whatever. The best thing I can say for something like that is go hit the antique stores or stuff like that and see if you can find an old one, because when they were made from forged steel, they're a hell of a lot better than the ones now that are made from stamped aluminum. John Thompson, download a picture of your Caribbean summer beach scene as your screensaver. That should keep it from freezing. There you go. Right. Okay, scroll down to the bottom. Back up to the top, see what I can get. All right, where are we? Cheryl Halfhill, what's the survey called? My husband is disabled but can do that. It's opinionoutpost.com. opinionoutpost.com. Here, I'll type it in the chat so you can find it. There you go. I just put it in there. I've used that for years. It's great. I mean, we actually bought, when Mrs. P and I got together, we actually bought our first television just on what I made from doing surveys. Okay. So, bought a 60-inch big screen just out of survey money. It was nice. Just kept getting Amazon gift cards. You can get gift cards. You can have PayPal, cash, whatever you want. So, Treasure Seekers said there's a super chat from Laura Williams I missed. It never came up on my screen, so I have not seen it. I'm sorry. Laura, if you sent me a super chat, thank you. I don't see it. So, Know Your Joe, any recommendations for communications radios? I've done a couple of videos on these, and I mean, I did a whole video on everything. I think I named it something along the lines of Special Forces or something like that. If you go look that up, everywhere from walkie-talkies to two-ways to ham to CB to everything. So go watch that. That would be where I tell you to start. John Bourne, stock up on charcoal or propane tanks. Charcoal would be a good thing. What would be a better thing is learn how to make charcoal. Okay, it's not difficult, but learn how to make your own charcoal. Stop stocking up on propane tanks. Not that propane goes bad, but that's going to get very expensive real quick. I mean, go refill your propane tank ain't that bad. Before all this crap started, they wanted $50 for a new barbecue-sized tank. I don't know what they want now. That can get real expensive real fast. If you can find people giving away old empty ones, go look on Craigslist, because nobody will buy those things from you. If somebody wants $2 for it, pay the $2 for it, and then go refill it. That would be decent. But again, depends on what you use propane for. If you're only cooking, backup cooking is your barbecue, yeah, it'd be a good idea. If you are thinking, oh, I'm going to use that to heat my house, no, it's not going to work that way. But yeah, any sort of combustible fuel that you can stock up on safely and reasonably at reasonable cost, yes, definitely. Dorothy Zabriskie, what chat was it that you did with 2 buckets and a PVC pipe? Crap, I don't know. Email me, and after the chat, I'll go look up the video for you. It's just on a self-watering bucket. It should be in the gardening playlist. Kimberly Brand, how are you preparing for your pets? Do you store dog cat food, or will they eat what you eat? I've done a video on making my own dog food. And this is the thing, storing dry dog food doesn't work, because the oils in it, it'll go rancid in somewhere between 6 and 9 months. So unless you want to eat rancid food, I wouldn't be feeding it to the dogs. Yes, you can stock up on some canned dog food. I would recommend doing that, but just like the food for you, eventually that's going to run out. And if you're storing 2 years or a year or whatever it is of dog food, that's going to take up a ton of space. I did the video on how to make your own dog food, and a lot of it is stuff either you can grow or you already have in your preps, okay? Blueberries, pumpkin, sweet potatoes, rice, spinach, all that stuff. I make that stuff, and everybody laughed because I fed it to my 2 dogs, and all you saw was 2 happy butts eating like crazy. But yeah, you're going to have to know, you're going to have to cook for the dogs too. That's the only way in an SHTF situation they're going to get what they need. You can't just give them table scraps. There won't be enough calories for them. You're going to have to feed them. And dogs are good about eating vegetables. So, go watch that video. We'll get time for one more. Laura K, if we run out of propane in the US by the end of the year, any idea for alternate energy? Hence the reason I like these solar generators. I know you guys hear me all the time saying electric vehicles won't work. We can't power the whole country on solar generators. I did the math on that one. I did that video where you'd have to cover the entire state of Utah and the entire state of Nevada and solar panels just to generate enough electricity to run all the cars. But on a personal level, solar does work. It ain't perfect, okay? Because you get a couple of cloudy days, you're without power. But this is what we think about. How can I store energy? How can I get it? Solar, wind, if you have the ability, you got a stream running through and you can do some sort of water wheel. There's videos out there of people who've done that where they've built a water wheel that the river or the stream turns to water wheel, which works with a car generator, which goes to store battery energy in a car battery. I mean, you can get very creative in this. Solar is probably the easiest, but it's also not cheap. That's the thing. And it's something you just got to, build up. It's like, okay, my goal is this, every month I'm going to save enough money to buy another solar panel, or, I'm going to save enough money to buy a 1300 or whatever it would be. I mean, you got to set those goals, and again, we don't know how much time we have until this all blows up. I mean, we could all wake up tomorrow morning and there's no lights. Okay. And then all best laid plans of mice and men are gone. It may never happen too. We all hope it never happens, but just you do what you can do, get creative as you can. I mentioned the opinion outpost. I mentioned the selling the seedlings, doing whatever. Do something silly like that. You go sell, a couple of packs of tomato seeds and you make a bunch of seedlings in solo cups and you sell them all for $2 or $3 or whatever it is, half the price of what Walmart wants from, and you sell 100 of those, all of a sudden you got a couple of $100. There's a solar panel, So, that there's many ways to do it. You can get a bicycle and hook it up to an alternator. And, I mean, you've all seen all the creative ideas for doing it, but some things are better than others to be done. So, okay. It's 9:02, so I've already run long. All right, guys. I don't know if usually Angry Prepper goes on at 9 o'clock. If he's on tonight, go head over there. I might bounce over there. But thank you all for coming tonight, and glad y'all enjoyed the contest. Have a good one. Pinball out.